No, none at all. No.
Coach, every NCAA tournament you've taken your team to, you've had this long layoff, whether it's 7 days, 10 days. Have you changed anything this time around in preparation that you learned from maybe 09 or 10, getting them ready for their NCAA tournament games?
You know, it was we didn't change anything really, Gary. We very similar to what we did last time, which would have been 10. Gave them a couple days off. You know, went kind of went short on Wednesday. Didn't practice Thursday. You know, so 3 out of 4 days where we didn't practice. And then went Friday and Saturday a little more normal. But then off today, you know, to let them again just have a little time to themselves. So very similar to what we did in 2010.
Jake, realizing you've had concentrating on the moment of the games, have you had any chance to reflect on what this season and the NCAA tournament might mean in terms of marketing your program, athletics in general, and the university as a whole? Yeah,
you know, I think about that. I guess I think about that quite a bit. I really do. You know, the opportunity that we have, and probably more than opportunity, the responsibility that we have, because of what we saw today. You know, when CBS is in here and has got us as one of the select teams to be featured during the selection show. You know, ESPN and CBS were both in here this past week and spent time with our guys. And you know, the championship game, of course, is on CBS. A lot of times we're on ESPN. So that's a responsibility that I think a lot about. And I don't talk with our players about it. You know, my hope is that the way in which we do things from a coaching staff standpoint, you know, how we are with them, what we expect from them, that they'll represent our university in a way that people, and I hope young people, that whether they like basketball just enough that they watch us, or they love basketball, or they don't have a care in the world for basketball, I hope that we're able to provide some insight into the University of Northern Iowa, and that people get excited about it, because this is, as all of us know, you know, we have got an unbelievable place here, and a great community to be located in. So I think about that quite a bit, and I hope that you know, that we've done and I feel like we've done a good job, that our players have done a great job this year of, without knowing it, of selling this place. And so yeah, I hope we got a bunch of young people around the state and around the Midwest that want to come and be a part of this.
Coach, you went to address the crowd and they kind of cut you off with the standing ovation.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned before, you almost looked like you almost got a little emotional. What was that specific moment like? And they kind of overwhelmed you a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's. I think it really speaks to the job our guys have done. You know, people don't they don't show up on game night, and they don't show up on, as Dion said, on Sunday afternoon, if they aren't attached to the players and attached to what they're doing as a group. And these guys, you know, individually they do it. More importantly, as a group, they do it. It's easy to get attached to these guys, and that's a real credit to the players and what they're doing. But like I said, to have this many people come out here, I'm not surprised by it. You know, they've been great. They've been great all year. So not surprised, but it's one of those things. Having done this for a little while now, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome.
Jake, at the beginning of the season, did you feel like you were going to be at this point where you're part of the selection show? ESPN visited this week.
Yeah, I don't know that. You know, it's hard, I think, to maybe to peg those things. I did know that we were going to be very good, and then you got to have a couple breaks along the way. And I'll tell you, this group hasn't needed as many as some of the teams I've been a part of. You know, we had the close game at Stephen F. Austin and the close game at Illinois State, and lost a couple close games. But there wasn't like there was 15 games that went down to the last possession. You know, this team has been really, really good, and they've done the job. And that, so I'm not surprised at the kind of year that we had. I'm really happy for our players that it's resulted in some of the national attention that we've gotten. Some of the things that, you know, today, for example, this happening, this doesn't come around all the time. So I'm not surprised, but really happy for our guys.
Coach, you mentioned that early game against Stephen F. Austin to start the season. That was your first taste of national exposure really this season. How much did that mean for your team's psyche to go down there and have those types of logistics and be able to come away with a win in a close game like that, especially after last season?
Yeah, that was that might be the game of the year for us. And there's some other ones that have been important, of course, since then. But even more so than the fact that it was the second game of the year and it was early, because of the way that game went, and as good as Stephen F. Austin is, the place was pretty well sold out. Had kind of an NCAA tournament feel to it against a team that just doesn't lose on their home floor. And then we had to make some big plays, and Wyatt and Paul were a big part of that game. And I think that let our our team know that not only did we have a bunch of guys back, but we had a couple of new guys that were really good. And that now makes us a pretty good team and a pretty good group going forward. And then there's no way to put a number or quantify the amount of confidence that guys gain from going in there and getting that type of playing that type of game and coming out of there with a win. That one's been paying off for us all year long and still is.
Do you find a direct relationship to a test like that and the type of challenges you see in an environment like the NCAA tournament where you're in so many different locations and so many different times? Yeah,
I think there's enough comparisons or similarities between the two. You're on a big stage, and we knew that going to Stephen F. Austin. It was the 24 hours of hoops. We knew it was on national TV. We knew everybody here all of our fans were interested to see if we were truly going to be as good as we thought and as good as they thought. And so there were a lot of things going into that game that would be similar. I think now, after 4 months, I think we all know we've got a really good basketball team, and now we get to go find out just how good. And so there's some similarities there, and I think that experience will certainly help us.
All good. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Jake.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for being here.